Third Era, an abbreviated timeline, the last year of the First Era, by Jaspus Ignatius. The abbreviated timeline, the last year of the First Era. It has been said that citizens of the Empire who make the same mistakes as their forebears deserve to suffer the same fate, and while this may be true, it's hard to deny that the Empire's history is so long and our forebears have made so many mistakes that it's sometimes hard to keep track. This work is meant to serve as a concise compilation of the Empire's most recent events in this, our current age, what we refer to as the Third Era. It is a period of time that has yet comprised less than 500 years, but it should at least serve as a starting point for those who wish to study our empire's vast and varied history, and maybe, just maybe, prevent the repeat of a previous disaster. It is also worth noting that when viewed in such a succinct structure, one truly gets a sense of just how often our great empire has changed leadership. Indeed, it can be argued that much of the empire's history in these past 5 centuries is the changing rule of that very empire itself. First century. Year 0. Beginning of... Wow, year 0! This is strange. Normal years, you start counting at 1. So year 1 to year 2 was first year of first century. That's why the first century ends at the end of 100, and the next century, the second century, starts with 101. That's why our 20th century didn't start with the year 2000, but with year 2001. But if they start counting with 0, that means the second century would start with the start of the year 100. Nah, why are they doing this? Beginning of Third Era, when all province in Tamriel are unified. I mean, this is the mathematically precise way, or this is the mathematically logic way of counting, but it's so unnatural. Mathematical logic is somehow not natural. Anyway, year 38. That means the 39th year of Third Era, called year 38. Death of Emperor Tiber Septim and crowning of Emperor Pelagius. Assassination of Emperor Pelagius. I just won't read these years because assassination of Emperor Pelagius and crowning of Empress Kintira. Death of Empress Kintira and crowning of whatever, Emperor Uriel I. Death of Emperor Uriel, crowning Uriel II. Death Uriel crowned Pelagius II. Death Pelagius crowned Antiochus. Okay. War of the Isle. I don't know that. What was the War of the Isle? Knights of the Nine, founded by Sir Amielanus in 111. Reported death of Kintira II. Birth of Pelagius III. Uriel III proclaimed emperor. War of the Red Diamond. This was not the War of the Red Ring, was it? I'm not sure whether... We've read about the War of the Red Ring. Or was it the Red Diamond? I must remember. Anyway, War of the Red Diamond, Frost, and year 123 in Frostfall. Actual death of Empress Kintira in captivity in secret. Oh yes, so Kintira II died in secret but was reported dead long before. Alright. Death of Emperor Uriel III. Crowning of Sepphoris I. Death of Potema, Queen of Solitude. Death of Sepphoris I. Crowning of Emperor Magnus. Death of Magnus, crowning of Pelagius. Death of Pelagius III. Cataria takes throne from husband Pelagius, becoming empress. Okay, then 3rd century. But it's right that they are doing it correctly. They are consistent. They're consistent in their year count. So 3rd century actually did begin with the year 200 here. So it's all right. They are at least consistent in this. Death of Empress Kataria and crowning of Emperor Cassander. Death of Cassander, crowning of Uriel IV. Death of Uriel IV, then Sepphoris II. Invasion of the empire by the Lich. Wow. Camoran, usurper. Camoran usurper controls the Dwinnen region with Nightmare host. Then defeat Camoran usurper. He's defeated in 3rd era 267. Then crowning of Emperor Uriel V. Warriors' conquest of Emperor Uriel Septim VI. Invasion of Akavir by the forces of Emperor Uriel Septim VI. Death of Emperor Uriel V and crowning of Uriel VI. Then the 4th century, Uriel VI again. Uriel VI gained full power as emperor. Death of Uriel VI, crowning of Empress Morihatha. Then publication of the 2nd edition, a pocket guide to the empire. Then assassination of Empress Morihatha, crowning of Emperor Pelagius IV. Jagartharn betrays Emperor Uriel Septim VII, and this is, I think this is the story of Arena. This is the story of the first Elder Scrolls game. Arena. Jagartharn betrays Emperor Uriel Septim VII. Yes, that's the year 3rd era, 389. Regional wars throughout Tamriel. Yes, the Arnesian War. I haven't heard of that. Defeat of Jagartharn. 10 years. 10 years spans the story of the first Elder Scrolls game. Founding of Orsinium, so the orcs came. I don't know, was it with Daggerfall where you could select orc as a race, as a playable race? I think they were introduced in Morrowind at first, I don't know. In the Morrowind game. 5th century. 403. Assassination of Lysandus, the king of Daggerfall. That may be. I don't know where the Elder Scrolls Daggerfall is temporarily situated. Maybe could be something here. Vardenfell territory opened for settlement. The warp in the west occurs. Yeah. Greywin founds the Crimson Scars, then beginning of the Blight Curse in Vardenfell, and the arrival of the Nerevar. That's the story of Morrowind game. The Blood Moon prophecy comes to pass on the Isle of Solstheim. Then publication of the 3rd edition of Pocket Guide to the Empire. Then assassination of Uriel Septim VII. That's the story of the Oblivion game. Thereafter comes the Oblivion Crisis. The Knights of the Nine are reformed, all in the same year. And that's the end. Okay.